Hi, this is Frank with a Frank Opinion. I've been away for almost 2.5 weeks, and during that time I've traveled through 10 states actually. And everywhere I go, I ask folks, when possible, whether they're covered by health insurance, whether it's employer related, do they know what their benefits are, have they ever heard of the concept of Medicare for all, single payer, a universal health care system that provides health care for everyone from the womb to the tomb. And the stories I get back are absolutely heart-wrenching, and I want to give you a few examples. In Atlanta at an IHOP, a server, when I asked her whether she has health insurance, said, well, I don't make enough money to qualify, and in fact, adults cannot get Medicaid. In Georgia, it is only reserved for women that become pregnant, children and adolescents, the disabled, for long-term care. And I checked into that, and it's true. An adult her age, who's not 65 years of age, cannot get Medicaid. So she's on Obamacare. And she said recently she came down with a health condition that is serious. I didn't ask her the nature of that serious illness, but she said if Obamacare is repealed, and if they put restrictions on insurance or don't provide insurance for people with pre-existing conditions, she's out of luck. Workers in a Super 8 and also at a Wendy's, I asked 2 workers in each. Again, the server, cash register person, who then consulted with their manager. And in both cases, both in the Wendy's and in the Super 8, neither of the 4 people were aware of the full extent of the health benefits that they might buy into. They weren't eligible by virtue of the fact that neither one of them, including the managers, had been working at either the Super 8 or the Wendy's long enough to qualify to buy into the health insurance. As I left the Super 8, one says to the other, gee, Carol, we better look into this. We don't have any health insurance. In Boone, North Carolina, a small business owner there with his son. He owns an arts graphics. He teaches there because he loves art. He sells supplies. It's a wonderful store right on the main strip in Boone. And when I asked him, he said, and I couldn't get a lot of information on this because he had customers. He said, I'm one of the people that fell through the cracks. So right now I'm not covered. I have a family. I have 2 other children. And I'm not covered. I'm hoping to get covered soon. But what scares me is that I think that I've developed an illness. And I saw he kind of glanced at his hand that was shaking somewhat. This is a gentleman that's anywhere between 38 and 45, I would guess. He did look, because of my questioning, somewhat concerned, nervous about whether he would be able to get health insurance if pre-existing conditions became a block to it. I go through Tennessee, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, stories right and left. And it turns out that I didn't have to go very far. The morning after the day that I got back, I go to my local Rite Aid store. I ask a worker there, does Rite Aid provide health insurance? And they do. I said, do you know how good it is? He said, well, any insurance is better than no insurance. And then he told me that his health insurance premium cost to buy into Rite Aid's insurance was $200 a month, but it recently went up to $2,000 a month, which he estimated was about 1/3 of his income. And the reason for that is that his wife came down with MS, and the cost of pharmaceuticals for her illness went so high that the insurance company is now forcing him to pay $2,000 a month. Yesterday in Connecticut, a server at a hotel restaurant who's been there for 11 years. She was 26 years before that at a family business that is an ice cream store, and I forgot the name of it, but 26 years there. Friendly's, there it is. And she said that the company that she works for does provide health insurance. You have to buy into it. It's not mandated. but it would have run her $400 a month, something that she said she can't afford. She does have Obamacare at the present, and once again, she said, if Obamacare is repealed and they have all these restrictions in terms of pre-existing conditions, I'm going to be out of luck. There isn't one state that I went into, either at a truck stop, at a gas station, etc., that I did not hear similar stories. So what I like to look at this is we've got collateral damage. We're allowing collateral damage, usually referred to in terms of civilian casualties by virtue of some military operation. You know, people talk about class warfare. Warren Buffett historically said some time ago, you know, yes, we do have class warfare in the United States, and by the way, my class has won. Well, there is a war on the majority of Americans, isn't there? It's estimated that 45,000 deaths are due to folks in the United States, citizens not having insurance. The current uninsured pool in the United States is about 37 million people. If you add the anywhere between 15 million and 22 million, depending on the Senate draconian bill that we're looking at, we're talking anywhere between 15 to 18% of our population that would be uninsured. How anybody can conceive of policy adding to the problem rather than seeking to insure more people, and in fact, why not everyone, is beyond me. The 45,000 deaths estimated every year because people are uninsured is 11,000 more casualties than we had in the Korean War. It is 6 times more casualties that we have suffered through the combined Iraq and Afghanistan war. This is collateral damage, and we've gotten used to it. Drone warfare, hey, you know, push a button, hit the target. If there happen to be 100 men, women, and children that are not really your targets, but they die at the result of drone warfare, that's collateral damage. Well, I think that we become inured to the words collateral damage. I think we have to have a much more radical national plan to enact H.R. 676, the Expanded and Improved Medicare for All Act, or its equivalent, because it's a terrific bill. And whatever Bernie Sanders produces on the Senate side wants this whole effort to make sure that the draconian Senate bill by the real death panel, which are the 13 senators that have been hiding behind closed doors, and their chief undertakers, Mitch McConnell on the Senate side and young Paul Ryan on the House side. Though that's really the death panel. And they shouldn't be even allowed to mention any Senate bill that doesn't improve dramatically on our current Affordable Care Act by ensuring everybody with robust health insurance. The first part of my 4-point plan, and I'll be laying out the 3 other suggestions, is number 1, we need a massive national effort to educate as many Americans as possible to the health care issue. It has to be nonpartisan. You can't get into Trump and Hillary and Benghazi and the emails, it's better now than it was Obama. No, just the facts. I have talked to many people that are consistently supporters of the current occupant in the White House, and they sometimes try to veer into a discussion of that he's being maligned, that they're not giving him a chance, etc., or it's better than Hillary. If you somehow have patience, allow that venting, but get back to educating and informing your fellow citizen with regard to the facts on health care, and the facts about a Medicare for All system, and the fact that we're the only country that doesn't have, only developed, sane, humane country that doesn't have a Medicare for all system, you can get some agreement, and I've got an agreement. We have to have materials that are easy to be reproduced. And it's got to be something that has some organization and some resources behind it. And in a future post on my Facebook page and on YouTube, I'll be laying out a simple framework for how to organize on a local level and expand that in terms of congressional districts and on a state level. But the first thing that you have to do is educate yourself. Right here, I have on my computer, Fix It, a wonderful documentary. It comes in various lengths. I obviously would like people to consider watching the full movie. Made, envisioned and produced by a wonderful gentleman, small business owner, actually medium-sized business owner, Richard Master, who I think is a hero, absolute hero, who investigated healthcare because the only thing that he couldn't contain was healthcare costs, premiums for his employees, who he's devoted to because it's a family-owned business for 47 years. Fix It. Go to that website, www.fixithealthcare.com, or Google it. It'll come up right away. Fix it. Watch it. Have people come over to your house. View it. Go to community centers. You can download it and view it. In fact, tomorrow night I'll be at one. The other website is the one for Physicians for a National Health Program. Wonderful information. But whatever you do, become aware, become informed, and then in your own small or large way, educate others and advocate. Thanks.